radioactive environment, in the eternal dark of the underground, at unattainable altitudes. Kazakhstan's vast lands attract researchers and explorers, and our filming crew are no exception. We are in the southern capital of Kazakhstan, searching for truth. The thing is that the specialists of the Krim Island Restoration Lab are now working on artifacts from a unique burial. Together with them, we will try to recreate the details of the clothes and try to understand how the Ojar princess looked. Pavlodar archaeologists had found her 3 years ago. That discovery did shake the whole world of archaeology. As soon as we started cleaning the artifact, we saw something very interesting in the head section. It looked like the remains of a hat with golden applications. Immediately it became clear that we found something unique. Time always plays against us. Time destroys things. Therefore, we have no right to stop and have to continue working day and night. Today, the researchers will lift the veil on the secret kept underground for many years. In Almaty, in addition to the archaeological discovery, we came across an interesting project within which 10 men under expert supervision had to undergo personal change in the course of several days. Learn to make the impossible possible and see for themselves what it really means to go through thick and thin. We are currently in the recreation camp in the Transili-Alatau Mountains. This training is intended only for men. It is a comprehensive breakthrough and personal growth program designed specifically for men. The training program allows its participants to achieve a new level in their lives, business, professional career, as well as other spheres of individual interest, and achieve other personal goals. In all modesty, I can say that it was not easy. Ready? Did he go? Yes, he did. The training participants spent their first day hungry and cold. Having nothing to eat, they made a 12-kilometer hike. With a heavy load, climbed the mountain to reach the waterfall and finally plunged into it. I was so tired that I simply wanted to wash this fatigue off me. I wanted to tap into the waterfall energy channel. This is why I didn't hesitate. The reality was not as scary as the thought of it. This is a great thing for a city dweller. It is a real breakthrough for any man, be it a middle-aged or an older guy. It is extremely important to always try to expand one's personal limits, not only physical, but also intellectual, moral and spiritual. This is especially relevant presently. The beginning was very emotional, but what would come next? The guys would have to go down a cable road and walk on burning coals. The weather forecast was good, so our filming crew packed its van with filming gear and once again headed towards the training site in the mountains. The snowstorm that met us on the way apparently didn't care about the forecast and made us change our plans. On one of the turns, our car slided down into a ravine, and after 3 hours of trying to get it out, we had to look for an alternative ride on snowmobiles, which was a lot of fun. Having arrived at the camp, we learned that it was not only us whose plans were altered by the snow. The training facilitators told us that it was impossible to use the cable road in such weather. Walking on burning coals, on the other hand, is a totally different matter. So let's talk about the phenomenon a bit while the guys are preparing the place of execution and manning up. Walking on burning coals or fireworking is practiced in many countries of the world and is becoming increasingly popular every year. To do this, you can go to India, China, Japan and even Bulgaria. In the UK, there is even a Firewalking Institute of Research and Education. Among its advantages, the practitioners name enhanced physical condition as well as desire and commitment to strive towards one's goals. How are you feeling? Perfect. Brisk. Any fear? How do you feel? Great. Super. We're approaching the final phase of the event, and now I'm asking you to once again turn around towards fire. We're all people and we have our stereotypes that coals and fire, for example, are supposed to be really hot. Of course, everybody's afraid. The guys are getting ready for the final stage of firewalking. We're already up on the mountain, where behind me there is a burning fire. I do hope that in a couple of minutes it will not start smelling of burnt flesh. This is an ancient way of overcoming one's fears and healing human body. On the one hand, the idea of walking on burning coals does seem scary, high temperature and all. One could ask, why is it possible to walk on burning coals and not get burnt? The matter is that before walking we enter into a special state of mind and awaken our spiritual power. In this condition our body changes its physical properties, which protect our feet from burns. We are strong together. We are strong together. We are strong together. Statistically, out of the total number of fire-walking people, only 1% get small burns. The most important thing is to follow the instructions of facilitators. According to them, the people who get burned cannot maintain the necessary mental state, cannot let go or free their mind, in other words. How about our training participants? Pure adrenaline. Totally cool. We thought it would be hot, but it was cold. Will you try it again sometime? Of course, no doubt about it. I didn't believe I could do it, but look guys. Any burns? No, not a single one. It is hard to say whether the guys will take away from the training something else in addition to burnt heels and nice pictures for their social accounts. What I can say for sure is that on Monday they will come back to their offices full of bright emotions and memories of their extraordinary weekend. A week later, we decided to check whether something has changed in the lives of our firewalkers. This week already yielded very good results and surpassed all expectations. In the course of this week, I talked to almost all training participants. I made a very interesting observation. After one person achieves something and tells about it on his or her wall in social networks, it inspires others so much that they say, wow, I have no right just to sit here and do nothing. Frankly speaking, out of all the guys in the training, I was the weakest one physically. So the results that I was able to achieve and the things that I'm doing now, everybody sees the difference, and I like it. We all have our demons, but some people choose to fight them, whereas others choose to back down. It is good to realize that it is hard not only for yourself. It's great to meet people who don't lose heart and are doing their best. You slowly understand that it is not only you. Everybody is going through his or her own internal battle. Such trainings are more psychological than physical. It's not like you bought yourself a new car and enjoy driving it. It's about changes taking place inside. Deep inside, I feel that the shift did take place, and I'm now looking differently at many things. Each of the participants took away something useful for himself. Let's wish the guys good luck and see what's next on our list. We are in the Krim Island Restoration Lab. A lot of cameras around, which hints to the extreme value of things kept inside these rooms. Yet, it is not gold or precious stones. It is the gold mine of information and knowledge collected and preserved here. This is the true treasure, and we have a chance of touching it. Here's one of the most interesting examples of scientific collaboration. A piece of silk found in Pavlodar region. Mind you, it looked more like an earth ball when it was brought into the lab. This is a piece of over-dried silk. We use a special chemical solution to soften and preserve it. This silk is 700 years old, and it was found in a settlement called Joly. It was just a lump of clay when it arrived. It took us 2 years to clean the cloth of dirt in which it was packed. We cleaned it under the microscope with forceps, particle by particle, fiber by fiber. When it came in, the piece was approximately 20 by 10 centimeters. Now we have about 6 square meters restored. Our guess was right. When we started working with it, treating it with special chemicals to make it soft, we noticed fragments of an inscription. It was so exciting. There are a lot of interesting golden images here. Animals, flowers, and even something in Arabic script. It took the lab staff 3 years to recreate a beautiful, unique silk scarf or a clothing article with golden embroidery from thousands of separate pieces. There were talented jewelers at that time too. Even in our time and with our technologies, it would be hard to replicate something like this. The soldering and metal and wood carving are so miniature and so fine that they can be seen only under the microscope. They were master engravers. There are dozens of unique artifacts in the lab, but it is only by bits and pieces that they can be brought back from oblivion. It is extremely important to take samples, like we did with our princess. It looks like dirt. The remains are hidden inside, but all round it's just mud. So what we do is we go through this dirt looking for traces of materials we didn't yet decompose and can be retrieved. Finally, some of the research results are ready. The scientists were able to identify and study some of the items buried together with the princess. We managed to X-ray her and get good digital images and drawings. We did some tests too. Based on that, we got some valuable information. For example, we now know for sure that she was wearing a woolen dress of red color and had a fern around her right hand, similar to the one that grows in our area. There were a lot of fern seeds, and the headdress, or a wig to be exact, made not of hair but of grass, of darker and reddish color in some places. On top of the wig, she had a crown with a huge image of the firebird. We examined the cloth of the headdress and concluded that it was silk of red color. We were able to understand how they made the key decorations of the headdress. This decoration was made using a base or a foundation of some kind. Before, we didn't know what they used as the base, but the chemical tests showed that it was lime of very interesting composition. Lime with addition of casein. Do you know what casein is?
Обезжиренный творог, из него же можно получить клей казеин.
Here is a piece of skim farm cheese. You can get glue or casein from it. So they would get this hard material and treat it with gum resin. Do you know what gum resin is? It's a type of glue produced from stone fruit trees like plum or cherry, for example. So this hardened, limey material was glued to gold. Then the X-ray showed that on the crown there were 2 Saiga images made of varnished wood and many other fine decorations of yellow color. So now we have a much better general impression of it. Other scientists are also getting involved in studying the princess. Some of the artifacts were sent abroad, and the conclusion of anthropologists is coming soon too. Will they be able to reconstruct the girl's face? By the way, so far they also know that the girl was 20 years old. The search for the truth continues. In the next issue. Most likely she was a bride. I think so. We found a stone altar nearby. The shamans usually use them for conducting various rituals with burning candles and herbs. We found an empty grave nearby, in the sense that there was no human buried there, but there were a lot of sheep or ram bones scattered all over the grave. And so it might be that the grave was a ritual one, perhaps. There are still a lot of questions and unresolved issues. For example, in all materials and in her bones as well, we detected high zirconium content. We still don't know why. So does it turn out that our princess is not really a princess but a bride? Or maybe somebody else? It's a paradox, but the more we learn, the more questions arise. More details and more secrets in our next issue. Stay tuned.